guys, welcome. It's the English program on RTC, the radio that unites us, the radio that keeps you abreast with the latest news, entertains you, and stays with you wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Just stay tuned. So let's groove as the first song on today's playlist suggests Haifa Dallegi at the mic. The Trabelsi is in the mix. Najla Trabelsi is responsible for the sound, and Rim Trabelsi is making us a nice podcast, as I have next to me a guest, a first-class guest, Mr. Haythem Ferjani from the Hilfswerk International.
Yes,
did I pronounce it
exactly
right? Okay.
Thank you so much, Haifa, for
thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me over. Really, thank you so much.
So, Mr. Haythem Ferjani, you work for this association entitled Hilfswerk International.
Indeed.
And precisely on the AMIF project. Let's start with the very beginning, which is the association itself. Or rather, oh my gosh, I haven't introduced you yet, huh? Let's take it from the horse's mouth, as we say.
Yes,
go ahead.
Thank you so much for having me today. So my name is Haythem Ferjani. I'm a country manager for an Austrian non-profit organization called Hilfswerk International.
Sounds big.
Thank you. And Hilfswerk is a non-profit, non-partisan NGO headquartered in Vienna, Austria, and is operating in different regions globally. So we have projects in Africa, in Latin America, Central Asia, the Middle East, etc. And
since Hilfswerk already suggests it's a German word for leaf.
A leaf, indeed.
As you told me.
Yes.
You take all the credit.
Yes, indeed. It means leaf.
So the purpose is already mentioned.
Exactly. The purpose is mentioned in the name. So the mission of the organization is to combat hardship and poverty in developing countries. And this is done through the means of economic and social development. And in Tunisia, so the organization was created back to 1978 in Vienna, Austria, so quite a long time ago.
More than 50 years ago.
And in Tunisia we've been actively present since 2013, implementing a couple of really impactful projects. I think we'll have the chance to go over these projects in a few.
By all means.
Thank you. And currently, as you just mentioned, we are implementing a lovely project which comes within the framework of AMIF. And AMIF is an acronym that stands for Asylum, Migration and Integration Fund, which is a project that is financed or co-financed by the Austrian Federal Ministry of the Interior and the European Commission, and implemented by Hilfswerk International in Tunisia. And the project aims to address the root causes of irregular migration in general, and
provide relief to
provide relief
stricken areas, communities.
Absolutely, and to work with vulnerable youth beneficiaries across the country, trying to give perspectives to our young generations and to tell them that yes, we do have a lot of potential.
And we can do it.
We can do it, and we will do it. Definitely. Yeah.
I have a question for you, Mr. Ferjani. You've mentioned that it's basically an association that helps poverty-stricken areas, communities, countries. So what are the criteria of do you choose those areas based on the fact that they are developing countries? Are there other criteria that come along?
Yes, definitely. So the first criteria would be developing country, and there should be also a need and also a responsiveness from the local communities to accept that we offer them the relief and to offer them the projects. When we started back in 2013, we started with a CSR project. It's a corporate social responsibility with one of the oil and gas companies. And when we started, we did not just replicate a successful project that we implemented maybe in Lebanon or elsewhere, but we started by doing a baseline study which revealed the real need of the Tatooine region back in the days. And accordingly, our intervention was tailored according to those needs. So we're really we start from the need, and accordingly we tailor our projects and programs.
And were they responsive to this lending hand?
Absolutely. We've had amazing and outstanding cooperations with different stakeholders, ministries, civil society organizations. We've worked with, I think, almost all, not all, but the majority of ministries and national stakeholders, and we've always had the validation and appreciation of what we are doing, because what we are doing, again, is not...
Is noble to start with.
Thank you. I was going to say thank
Duncan.
you. Thank you so much.
I've noticed, yeah.
And yes, it is noble indeed. Sorry. But also, it comes from... the foundation of it is trust. And when you trust your partners, when you trust your stakeholders, they would definitely trust you. And if you have the same vision, that you share the same values, and you want to achieve impactful projects, then hand in hand through the participatory approach, you can make it. And this is how so far we've been really working in a very respectful, I would say, way with our stakeholders.
Nice, beautiful.
Thank you.
So you've mentioned this project, which was implemented back in 2013. Now we're speaking of the AMIF project.
So AMIF is first and foremost is a very human project. Actually, it's instead of waiting until our youth land into unfortunately the irregular migration journey, we're here to suggest preventive means and solutions by giving them access to entrepreneurship, to business creation, to education, and also by telling them that yes, you can make it in Tunisia, and you can make it, and there is potential out there. So we are here to help you get that potential and start really a good life, good and decent life.
Nice. So AMIF targets an issue. Let's face it, it's an issue nowadays.
It's a thorny issue. It is
exactly.
It's
irregular migration nowadays, even not with crooked ways. Youths are willing to leave the nest, and by nest I mean our country, Tunisia. By the way, what is it? What is it behind this urge to leave Tunisia?
I think it's a complex combination of factors. To start with, I think, unfortunately, our youth, they have a misunderstanding of how life looks like across
the
Mediterranean. Across the Mediterranean. Okay, they think they would find all the blonde, beautiful ladies with the left.
We have blondes here in Tunisia.
but yes, they have a misconception of reality, and throughout
they think it's the land of milk and honey.
Yes, indeed. So throughout our interventions, and what we're trying to implement through AMIF project is we're opting for a whole of society approach, which means that we're working also with ministries, with vulnerable Tunisians, with kids, and the ultimate objective is to combat irregular migration. Having said that, the project is showcased through 3 pillars or 3 components. The first component aims to build the capacity, institutional capacity building for ministries that are working on the migration topic, namely the Ministry of the Interior. Will be soon, hopefully we'll start soon the training cycle with them. The second component, which we entitled Chance to Change, C2C.
Nice. It rhymes well.
Whereby we are trying to work with Tunisians in vulnerable regions and to help them either start a business or get enrolled into a vocational training program. So we have employability path for vocational training or starting an own business. So they have to go through a couple of tests and evaluations, and then with our experts, then we can define which profile fits better, either into the entrepreneurship component or the vocational training component. And when it comes to vocational training, it's not only giving the trainings, but also it's incubation, it's coaching, and also giving seed money to the beneficiaries to start their business. And now seeing some of our beneficiaries already generating some income really fills our hearts with
I was
pride.
going to say spreading their wings, and
Yes, already
they are already having their own income.
Absolutely, absolutely, because we trust them, even though one of the biggest challenges, maybe we'll come to that later, that youth, they mistrust is there at a certain point, mainly at the beginning, because okay, they had promises, but once they see that you are serious, that you can show them the path how to be impactful, they are 100% on board.
And I bet you've got the help of life coaches,
exactly.
Maybe psychiatrists.
Yes, definitely. We have a pool of experts and consultants that you work with, and for this second component, C2C, we're implementing it with our partner organization, Seed Tunisia. They're called. It's a local NGO in Tunis. They are really doing great. So we have a pool of experts and consultants. Psychologists, we use them in the third component. This brings me to tell you more about our third pillar, which is a lovely component, because as I do come from an educational background, so for me education is key, and if we want to unlock the world,
absolutely,
this can only be done through education. So for the third component, we are raising awareness about the risks of irregular migration in Tatawin, in all the prep schools and secondary schools, through two programs. The first one is entitled Kidpreneur, so it's kid
with
with D. It's Kidpreneur, so entrepreneurship for kids. This is for prep
already
schools.
For kids.
Yes. So we have developed a toolkit for the teachers. We have trained the teachers, and it's the kids would love and enjoy starting their own business while having fun. So yes, it could be social entrepreneurship, but also it could be creating an own business. But the idea here is to already plant the seeds of entrepreneurship, and also to
instill the mindset of entrepreneurship.
Absolutely. And to tell the kids, yes, you can make it. And here, of course, we outreach to prominent success stories in the region, and also in the country. So they always have a kind of a source of inspiration.
Nice. Probably you'd bring along somebody to talk about their own success stories.
We did. Actually, last Sunday we wrapped up a final event for Youthpreneur. And Youthpreneur, it's entrepreneurship for youth. It's for the bigger ones.
Okay.
And the event was a true success. It was kind of a TED Talk style. So the kids, they're not kids, they are grown ups now. The students,
still kids.
So they would share their journey into entrepreneurship, but in a TED Talk style. It was really amazing, seeing all that potential from the kids, and many people even moved to tears. And in this very event, we invited two success stories, two successful entrepreneurs who shared their journey.
Thanks to the association, of course.
One of them was one of our beneficiaries. Another one was not one of our beneficiaries, but he was really a source of inspiration. And the message that these two brave people, I would say, conveyed is that entrepreneurship is challenging, yes, but it's worth it. And the message I wanted also to convey, that always remember that
it's doable.
It's doable. All the big projects, once they were little hopes, little dreams in the heart of someone who said, yes, I can make it and I will do it. And eventually,
when there is a will, there is a way.
Absolutely.
Very nice. Now, I would like to ask you about the AMIF project.
Mhm.
I bet that anybody, once they put a project on the table, they would look ahead of the different challenges they would be beset with in view of prior experiences. So, in light of the prior experience, in light of prior projects, what were the challenges you were actually anticipating?
Yes. Well, I think this is nothing new because, as you said, we already witnessed that in previous projects. The first thing maybe that was a little bit new for us is the mistrust that we encountered from youth, unfortunately, as I just mentioned earlier. But once you sit with your beneficiaries and you explain and you show them in a tangible way, in a very palpable way, that
Yes.
they can make it and that this is our intervention, but we need them to be rigorous, we need them to be to come on time, etc., etc., they can make it.
With the promise of something that is coming in,
Yes,
in
indeed,
return.
indeed. And to be honest, the fact of incorporating into this activity the seed money, like kind of an incentive for them, that if they work hard, they will have kind of some money, which is not a grant, which is only a grant. It's not a loan, so it's the money for them. Well, we don't give money, but we purchase equipment for them. It's a case by case scenario here. Another challenge, yeah, this is very classical challenge, which is the bureaucratic hurdles. Yes.
Tell
Well,
me about it.
I think, yeah, because as an NGO, maybe our pace is quite
Slow.
quicker than some of our stakeholders, which would make priorities and timetables sometimes they don't overlap, but with patience and with active communication, perseverance, and also being understandable, because sometimes some ministries they have other priorities, and yeah, as an NGO, as I said, we're a small NGO with now 6 people, but if you have a ministry with hundreds of people, then but yes, but the good news is we have achieved, as I said, extraordinary outputs, many with our youth, some of them who started already generating income, hiring people.
Nice.
Yes, it's really
Rewarding.
yeah, absolutely, it's really rewarding. Indeed.
I have another question, and I really don't know if I have the right to ask it.
Yes.
Since earlier on, you've mentioned a bit about your early career
Yes.
as a teacher of English.
Yes.
Do I go ahead? Do I have a green light for
Yeah,
that?
absolutely. Go ahead.
So, for a teacher, basically, his or her main job is to equip the student, to instill things within the student that would enable them in the future to tread the field of work life, to win their bread, as we say. And I've noticed it's almost the same responsibility you're taking here.
Exactly.
Are there similarities? But I feel that you are, when you talked about your own experience, I felt pride, I felt enjoyment, I felt, I think that since you've turned the page of teaching and moved on to another
Field of expertise.
Exactly.
Thank you for the question. Actually, I think there are a lot of similarities between teaching and what I'm doing, because first, passion is there. So for me, teaching was a job that I chose. It was not something that was imposed on me. It's really something I chose thanks to the really amazing teachers. And big thanks to all my teachers. Because yes, again, I do believe in the power of education. And even my colleagues in Vienna, they always refer that in Tunisia there is a fine line between all our projects, and this fine line is education. So if you enumerate all the different projects, you can see that education is there. So maybe this is what I'm trying to bring from the profession of teaching into the non-profit and
That's the
international
teacher in
corporation.
you.
That's the teacher in me.
That
Yes.
never left.
I don't believe me. Yes, indeed.
And for the profiles, for teachers, there is always this question about student profile at entry and student profile at exit.
Yes.
I guess in your position nowadays, you can actually you come to diagnose this change within the profile of, I wouldn't say the student, not any longer, but I think that you are more exposed to the experience of those who take part in the project,
Yes,
those
yes, yes.
you target in your projects.
Yes, indeed, indeed. Actually, if I look back and if I take the example of youthpreneur, for instance, because in our approach, again, education is there and capacity building is there. We really pay attention to giving and equipping the teachers with the necessary tools, because everything that has been done in youthpreneur and kidpreneur was done by the teachers. But before going to their schools, the teachers are really very well trained. So we have kind of a boot camp, TUT, training of trainers, with the teachers, with the school directors, and we explain every single step of the project. So we take, it's usually 2 to 3 days, but it's really, really intense. And then we ask them to go back to their schools and to start their entrepreneurship clubs, but we don't leave them alone. Once there, we grant them coaching sessions, online coaching sessions on a weekly, bi-weekly level with our experts to check if the objectives are met, if they have any questions, if they have any challenges. So and now that the first round of youthpreneur is over, and seeing all those teachers equipped with these techniques, and mainly the students, because the students who are the stars of, I think, of this project, makes me really, really say with absolute certainty that Tunisia will have a brighter future with those kids.
Hopefully.
Yes, definitely, because the potential and the passion and the motivation and how they think out of the box really is
well, seeing passion in you, I think it's quite promising. Yeah, I think it's quite promising. And with this comes the natural question about this cooperation and the extent to which it is key to the success of the project. I mean, the cooperation of the association with, you've mentioned, it's basically you're working with the Germans. No, it's Austrian.
Austrian, yes.
Austrian and Tunisia, in the case of Tunisia. Yes. To what extent is this collaboration, this cooperation, their work with the Tunisians, yourself included,
yes.
is successful?
Okay, so far, in at least in the framework of the AMIF project, the cooperation with our key stakeholders has been very smooth. And also here, I really would like to thank also the diplomatic channels, the Tunisian embassy in Vienna and the Austrian embassy here in Tunis, for the very smooth cooperation, for the trust. And really, again, as I said, once you have clear objectives and once we are really serving the local communities and really trying to leave behind resilient people, resilient communities, then really all the stakeholders would be very cooperative, and I think they will even compete to cooperate with you. Yes, indeed, because if I take the example of the Ministry of Education, represented in the regional delegation of education in Tatooine, now we've been working together since more than 5 years, and now we are talking about a strategic partnership, because it's not a touch and go project. We've been working together for more than 5 years, and we've sat together, we have designed programs together. So it's beyond partnership. It's I don't know how to say it, but yeah, strategic partnership.
Nice. Well said. Or to conclude this nice exchange with you, Mr. Haythem Ferjani.
Thank you so much. Thank you already for having me here today, and for the interest of what Hilfswerk International is doing. Really, we are looking forward to more impactful projects. Our project already started a year and a half ago, and will take an end in December 2026. So
Okay.
hopefully beyond
That's
that
long
day,
enough to
implement
you
a
know,
lot. Yeah.
exactly.
But yeah, we'll also work hard to scale it up to other regions and to other communities. And yeah,
Nice. Thank you so much
thank you so
for the
much.
exchange. Thank you for the insightful ideas about this nice project
Thank
and
you
the
so much.
association
Thank you
in
so much.
general. And I'm looking forward to further interviews with you, Mr. Ferjani.
With great pleasure, with great pleasure. Just one last word.
Sure.
The work of Hilfswerk within the AMIF project would have never been possible without the tireless efforts of all the key stakeholders, the Austrian embassy, the ministries, and also my colleagues. So
Sure.
big
You can mention
thanks
them.
to all of my colleagues, Mehdi, Buthaina, Farouk, Lujain, Ashraf. Thank you very much for your tireless efforts.
And
Yes.
you're lucky to have him as a colleague.
Yes, thank you so much, Yeah, and big hug to my son Aziz. I think he's listening to me, not understanding any single
Must
word.
be very proud. Thank you so much, Mr. Haythem Ferjani. And we resume with music. We'll be right back. Just stay tuned.